Hey, what's up YouTubers? Lee John Blackmore here at Super Easy Guitar. Welcome to part 3 of Zero to Guitar Hero. And in this episode, I'm going to show you the next level. So I'm going to show you a little riff. I'm going to show you how to play a riff with some chords. And I'm going to show you some strumming as well, okay? So let's zoom in and get straight into it. So hopefully from the last lesson, you've been practicing and you can play these 3 chords. Perhaps you can play that 4th chord, that B7, that tricky one. Perhaps you can play that. And who knows, maybe you can do this. Maybe you can do that pentatonic scale as well in the key of E. I don't expect you to be able to play it that fast, but just have a go and work your way through it slowly. We also did in the previous lesson to that is playing a scale, a major scale on 1 string. We did this. Now that's going to come in pretty handy today because I asked you from the last lesson to be able to play it with down ups. So whatever you're doing, always try and do it with down ups, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to take that very same scale. Let's just use it on the top E string, right? And we're going to turn this into something. So we've got O, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. What we're going to do, we're going to place an open in between all of those notes. Now I'm only using downstrokes to start off with, okay? So So I went up, O, 2, O, 4, O, 5, O, 7, O, 9, O, 11, O, 12, 12, O, 11, O. Back down, 4, 2, O. Now we could do that on the B string as well. Now to get it quick, what I was doing there, I was going down, up, 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 okay? So I'm not doing anything complicated there. So let's use this. So hopefully you're comfortable just with one finger moving up and down that fretboard. Now I have done another video on this, but I'm going to show you where the technique comes from, okay? So instead of doing the entire scale, what we're going to do, and you might have already spotted this, we're going to play on the B string, which is the 2nd string, because that's the key of the riff I'm about to teach you. And it goes like this. Okay, now you don't have to do that fast. You can do it super slow. And it starts off here. It starts off on the B string, the 2nd string, in the 4th fret. And we're going to go 4, O, then we're going to go 7. O. Now it seems a bit ridiculous using one finger here because I have to move my hand. If I just decide to use my 3rd finger, watch what happens. 4, O, 7, O. Now if I use my 3rd finger in 7, O, I still have to move the hand a bit, but a lot less. Okay? I could even use the pinky there if I'm confident. And look, I don't have to move the hand at all. And you can do this in all downstrokes. Down, 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 down. Or if you want to try something different, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 4, O, 7, O, 4, O, 7, O. So next, you've got 4, O, 7, O. So next we're going to just move that up and we're going to go 5, O, 8, O. And I'm using my 1st finger and my 3rd finger. It's just more comfortable that way. I'm doing down, up, so I'm going down. So when my finger's on, I'm doing a downstroke. Whenever I'm taking my finger off, I'm doing an upstroke. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So if we go back to the first pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you don't have to go that fast, but it's something to work towards, okay? Now the next section. You might be thinking, oh my gosh, it's impossible. It really isn't. I've taught this for a long time, and I've taught it to 6-year-olds, so it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 6 years old or you're 66, you'll be able to do it, okay? Now, to save confusion, I'm going to do it all with one finger. Now, you don't have to do down-ups here, so just concentrate on the frets first. So, if you don't know what it is yet, it's called Thunderstruck by AC/DC, so hopefully you've already picked up on that. So we're going to go 12, and every time I take my finger off, I'm going to make sure I do a pluck. 12, 10, 9, 10. So you just start off with that, okay? 12, 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 5, 7, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 0. Now I have done another video on this. You can look it up, Thunderstruck by AC/DC. So if I do it with more than one finger, I can kind of start to put more speed behind it. So that's how it goes. That's the original speed. You can hear the pick on the record, however, in the video, you can hear him kind of hammering it on. You can see him hammering it on in the video. And obviously it's originally played on the electric guitar. We're not worried about that here. Now, obviously you can play that on any string. The top E string, the G, D, A, E, gets a bit tricky down there. See, I start using my pinky. So you can actually use it on any string. It's a pretty cool riff. So that's the little intro to Thunderstruck, okay? However, I wanted to teach you a new song as well. I wanted to teach you House of the Rising Sun, which is kind of a classic and people tend to avoid it, but it's really cool because you've got a few more chords. They're still easy chords, but then you've got different rhythms and different picking as well. So you might recognize it like this. Now that's not the exact picking, but you get the idea, okay? Now at the end of the song as well, it kind of picks up. And I'm also going to show you, because this is in the key of A minor, so the first chord is A minor. You could play a pentatonic over the top of that, but we've learned the E minor pentatonic. But we want to learn the A minor pentatonic, which means, you know, if someone else was playing these chords, we could play over the top. We could kind of do some cool soloing over the top, all right? And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So we're going to do something like this. Okay, now it's not part of the song, it's just to kind of help you learn how to play the pentatonic with chords, okay? And guys, I apologize, you can probably hear I'm a little bit under the weather here, but I'll keep going. So. and so on. So we're going to kind of do something like this, and it sounds really cool, and it's really good for getting your hand moving around the fretboard. And also, you're going to get good at the chords, and you're going to get good at strumming as well. Now, this won't happen in a week. If it does, excellent, well done. Don't expect it to, though. Your hands have to have time to adapt to these new movements, and you have to learn to synchronize the both hands, and obviously the fingers have to toughen up, and all these kind of things come into play. But it's things to work on to keep things interesting and to have fun with, all right? So let's have a look at this, and let's have a look at the first chord. So here we go. The first chord, it looks very much like E, except we've come over to the next strings, and we're playing A minor. And what we don't do here is play this bottom E string, because we don't want this sound. It's just going to sound horrible, okay? So what we want to do, because it's an A minor chord and a type of A chord, we want to start from the A string, which is the 5th string. Okay? And it's really easy to go from there, because we're going to go to C. Now the quickest way to get from A minor to C is just simply by moving your 3rd finger in to the 3rd fret on the A string. So it goes from there, tucked underneath, and then we just move it over. You might want to move the other hands a little bit as well, okay? I can obviously stretch and put it in there, but just move them slowly. And that becomes a C. So A minor to C. And again, you're not going to strum the bottom E string, okay? Or from the A string. Now the next chord is a D. We've already covered a D before in the last lesson. And then we've got an F now. Again, I'm strumming this time from the D string. Okay, because that note there is actually F. Okay, so we don't want to strum the bottom 2 strings. If you do hit the A string, it's no big deal, okay? But F can be kind of tricky because we're using the 1st finger to cover 2 strings, and then the 2nd finger is 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and the 3rd finger is 3rd fret on the 4th string. But I'm going to show you a little cheat, okay? And it's what we call an F major 7, but it's going to work just fine for this song. So kind of like a C, we're going to put the 1st finger, 1st fret on the B string. Okay, that note is actually C, okay? Then the 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the G string, and the 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the D. Now, if I'm, bridging my fingers over those strings, you'll hear this top E ringing out. I have a feeling if you're a beginner, it'll sound more like this. Okay, that's okay, but try and just move the finger off and it'll sound a bit sweeter. Okay, so it's just a case of, getting out of this position into this position. Remember to tuck the thumb behind, and those fingers won't touch. Okay, if you're wondering what that little clip is on the end, that's just my guitar tuner. All right, so here we go. A minor from the A string, remember. C, also from the A string. D, from the D string, because it's a D chord. F, also from the D string, but this note is F. Then it goes back to A minor, which is nice and easy because you can leave your 1st finger where it was. And then we go C again. And then we go E. So you just move the 1st finger over 1 fret and form that E. And remember, you can strum all the strings on E. So let's just go through that again. A minor, C, D, F, or cheating F, A minor, C, E. Notice on the E I strum 4 times, okay? So that's the first half. The second half is virtually the same, there's a slight difference. Here you go. So A minor, C, notice I'm strumming twice, D, F, A minor, this time it goes to E, back to A minor, then finish on E. So now I'll play part 1 and part 2 back to back. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, part 2. A minor, E, A minor, and finish on E. Then the whole thing starts again. Now obviously I was playing it all with just downstrokes. If you want to add something more interesting, let's learn a bit of rhythm on top of that. Now what we're going to do for this rhythm part, we're not worried about the chord changes. We're going to sit on one chord, and we're going to sit on this A minor because it's nice and easy. You don't have to worry too much. If you're going to hit this bottom E string, don't worry too much about that. You'll get good at missing it, okay? What you have to do is just kind of aim for the thinner 4 strings, and you'll find that you can avoid it, okay? So this is the rhythm I'm going to give you. Down, down, up, up, down, up. Now, down, down, up, down, up does not mean down, down, up, down, up. That's not how we play rhythm. So rhythm is in the feel. It's how things feel when you play them, okay? Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Watch really slowly. I'm not changing chords. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And you know, you can hit this bottom E nice and softly. Just don't do this. That's what you want to avoid, right? You want everything to stand out nice. The fingers might get a bit sore here. You can see I've got lines on my fingers as well. It's completely normal. You can just squeeze those out, rest the fingers for 2 minutes and just go back in. Don't push down too hard, okay? Here we go from the A string. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. I'll go slower. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Really, you have to be doing this in your sleep, guys. You have to be able to do it without thinking. It's really easy. I've proved it. I've played it with my 6-year-olds, my 8-year-olds, students that is, and they can all do it eventually. It might take you a week, but you will get it. It might take you 2 weeks, okay? Depends how much time you put in. The more time you put in, the quicker you will get it. I'll promise you, okay? So if you can get it on one chord, look what happens with the rest of them. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And so on, okay? So you get the idea. So the trick here is to be able to play through the chords cleanly with just single strums or just 2 down strums, whatever you're comfortable with. And once you're comfortable with them like that, then try adding this rhythm. But remember, stick on one chord to start off with. Stick on the A minor. If you get bored of that, move to the C. Practice playing between A minor and C. Now the other thing I wanted to teach you was very, very important as well, okay? It's the minor pentatonic that you can play along with this, okay? Now this is to get you away from chords. I don't know if you're the same as me, but when I was learning, I used to get fed up with chords sometimes and wanted to learn something cool. right? So I'm going to show you this pentatonic. Now, it might look complicated. It really isn't. You start one string at a time. I've covered this in tons of other lessons, but I'll go through it here with you today, okay? So if you don't know it, practice it, because I'll show you some tips. So we're going to start off on the 5th fret on the bottom E string with your first finger. Now, the fingers are very important here to get speed. I'm only going to use downstrokes to start off with, okay? And I'm going to play 5 and then 8 with my pinky. And straight away, you guys might be like, oh my God, I can't do that. But don't worry, it will toughen up that pinky. You'll get good at that, okay? So it's going to be 5, 8. Then we're going to go to the next string and we're going to play 5, 7. The next string is going to be 5, 7, which is the D string. The next string is the G string. That's going to be 5, 7 as well. Now there's only 2 strings left. There's the B string, and now we're going to do 5, 8. So get that pinky down, and then we're going to do 5, 8. Now on the top E. Now if you're getting this kind of, it's one of two things. It means you're not pushing down hard enough, or you're not playing behind the fret. So if you're too far away from the fret, you see what happens? Just a couple of millimeters, and it makes all the difference in sound. So I'll take you through it. Play along with me if you can. Nice and easy. Here we go. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. If you're confident with it, you could go backwards. Now don't forget, this is to work on over the next few weeks. So I'll just do that again. That's going to be 8, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5. That last one's definitely the hardest, okay? And really what you want to be able to do is find, you'll probably be getting lost here on the strings. The trick is to keep the hand really close to the strings, okay? Watch how close my hand is. So on the picking hand, this is what you want to be looking at. I just do it in downstroke, sorry. You see my hand's really close. I'm not over here like this, okay? It's really difficult then to find the strings. If you're doing this sort of thing, you want to keep the pick super close and be conscious of that, okay? Super, super close. Sorry, and wrong note because I'm too busy looking at the screen. Okay. That's with down ups. So if you get confident, you can do down ups as well. So what you can then do is play the song, but between each chord, you can do a little bit of the pentatonic. This is the A minor pentatonic. So you could go A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you could do C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could kind of practice that. Now I'm just doing the first 5. Okay? If you wanted to be a bit more professional, then we could talk about the notes. So the first note is A. So we'd start on this note here, which is actually A as well, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one's the same. But then when we go to C, what we'll do, instead of starting on the first finger, we'll start on the pinky. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it takes us up one level higher. But because that we're starting on that second note, that second note is actually C. And because we're going to a C, it'll make it sound like it should be there, okay? So now if you listen, A, C. You see See, it lifts it, okay? So we're going to do exactly the same for D, except we're going to start here, the 5th fret on the A string and count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's put those together. A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, start on the pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D, start on the 5th fret on the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got F. You can start off on the 7th fret on the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to A minor. Then you can start on the 5th fret on the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to C again. You can start on the 7th fret on the D string, sorry. And then E. Strum 4 on E and then just go. Okay, you could do something like that. You can just play it in reverse. Or start on the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That probably makes more sense starting on the 5th fret. Because then we finish here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that note is E. So if I play it fast, okay, you'll see what I'm getting at. Kind of sounded a bit kind of Asian there at the end. That was unintentional. But that's the kind of thing they use as well. They use in Asian music, you kind of hear a lot of pentatonic kind of scales as well. So it's kind of cool, right? You can make it sound, by using different accents, you can make it sound different. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's lesson. Please don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to receive my weekly updates. And as always, below you'll find some links for some t-shirts for sale, a Spotify playlist. You can find the links to the other videos, okay, part 1 and 2. And also tune in for next week because I'm going to show you a part 4 as well. And if you'd like to support me over here, guys, I've set up a donation button on my website. So any spare change you have goes a long, long way, believe me. So thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again the same time next week.